Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vivi and I just film like whatever videos I want and I just post them here on YouTube. And if you're not new here, welcome back. I'm so glad that you came back to watch another one of my videos. So in today's video, I thought I would film basically every single book that I've read this year. So basically in this video, I'm going to be telling y'all about all the books I read so far this year. This is gonna be Q1 update because we are at the end of March, so we're at the end of the first quarter. So I thought I'd film this video because once it gets to like the halfway mark in the year, it's like too many books and I like forget what they were about. So I think it's better if I do it this way. Anywho, if y'all want to follow me on the book apps, I have Goodreads. I'll link it down below. And then I also have Fable, so I'll also link that one down below. I use them all. I like update them all at the same time because I don't know, there's like some things that I like about one app and then like some things that I like about another app. Anywho, so far this year I have read 15 books and that's from January 1st up until now, and right now it is currently March 28th when I'm filming this. And I'm reading a book right now, but I don't think I'm gonna finish it until like April, so it's fine. Y'all will see what that book is in the next update. But anywho, let's get started. Okay, y'all, so the first book that I read was Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. And this book was like a thriller, and it's basically about this couple, Jack and Grace, and they're like very picture perfect, but Jack is like very controlling of Grace and she doesn't have a cell phone and like she's just always home. The neighbors and all the people that they know, their friends, like they never see her out and about or like out in public. And if she is out, let's say she's going out for lunch with a friend, Jack is always there with her, like watching her, like he's there. So it's just like this creepy vibe, and then we like get into why they are that way. And yeah, the plot twists were crazy. The book was pretty good, so I rated this book 4 stars because it was pretty good. It was just like as the story continued and like I kept like once I was getting towards the end, I like kind of knew where it was going and like what was gonna happen. So like that part I was like, damn, I wish there was like a really good plot twist, but other than that it was pretty good. I recommend this book. Okay, the next book that I read was Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I have had these books on my shelf for like over 2 years and I was like, okay, I need to read them because like I've heard so many people love them and I'm like, let me see what it's about. So I just picked it up and I heard that a lot of people didn't like the first book, which is why I was like hesitant to read it because I was like, ugh, like should I even read it? And I'm so glad I did. This book is about Alex and Ava. Alex is Ava's brother's best friend, so it's brother's best friend and like kind of forbidden because it's like brother's best friend. This man, some people don't like, I don't know why they don't like this book. I loved it. I literally, anywho, Alex is very like dark and broody and he basically is like, no, I'm bad for you, all this stuff. And then Ava is the complete opposite. She's literally like sunshine, so it's like grumpy sunshine. The way I ate this book up, it was so good. That's all I want to say about it because y'all should read this. I don't know why people don't like this book. Like I'm pretty sure this one was one of my favorites from this series. So I rated this book 4.75 stars. At first I think I had rated it like 4.5, but then after like I read the other ones I was like, no, this is almost a 5-star read. There was just some parts that I was like, was that necessary? But other than that, it was so good. And then the next book that I read after that was Twisted Games by Anna Huang. This is the second book in this series, and this one follows Bridget and Rise or Reese. I don't know how to say it. The whole time I was reading this book, I was saying Rise in my head, like rise up, but I think it's pronounced Reese. It's spelled R-H-Y-S. Whatever, I'm gonna call him Rice. Anywho, Bridget is the princess of Eldora and Rise is her new like bodyguard. So it's a bodyguard princess romance, so it's forbidden. It was literally so good. Like the plot was thick. Like there was just so much going on and I was just so entertained this whole time. Like the whole time I was reading this book, I did love that. But also Rise is like not like a lot older, but he's older than her, like significantly. And because he's like her bodyguard, he was trying to be professional, so he wasn't really showing like his true emotions to her, which I don't know why, but that just like irritates me. It's like, if you like them, show them. Like, why are you trying to pretend? Why are you being nonchalant when you're the complete opposite? Like, I rated this book 4.75 stars because there was a lot of plot, like there was a lot of stuff happening in the book. And yeah, but it wasn't a 5-star because of what I just said. Like, he wasn't really emotionally vulnerable with her until later. And I forgot to mention, but this series, Twisted series, it follows this group of friends, group of 4 girls. So like you see them all in the books and you get to know them like as the books go on. I like that too because it's like these books are just like an extension of the first one and it just keeps growing. So yeah, I rated this book 4.75 stars. Okay, the next book that I read was Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. And this book follows Jules and Josh. Josh is Ava's brother and Jules is Ava's friend. Josh is this like, I think he's a doctor, and Jules is like, she's becoming a lawyer. And in the previous 2 books that I just mentioned, like these 2 are always like butting heads and they're just always bickering. This is like enemies to lovers basically. This book, I'm not going to say too much about this book because it is like the 3rd book in the series, and like I liked it, I just didn't like it as much as I liked the other 2, so I rated it 4.5 stars, but I still really liked it. Like, I would literally read this whole series again. So 4.5 stars for this one. The next book that I read was Twisted Lies by Anna Huang, and I've heard everybody and their mama say this book is the best one. I'm like, of course, the last book in the series is the best one, so I need to read all these other ones before I get to the good one. And they did not lie. This book, oh my god, this book follows Christian and Stella, and Christian is like this security, like he runs a security company, and he's also Rise's friend. And then Stella is Ava's friend, and she's like an influencer. So she's an influencer and he's like a security CEO, and that's all I'll say about that. But though this man is so down bad for her. Like, I was literally giggling and kicking my feet the whole time I was reading this. Like, it was literally so good. But like, I don't want to say too much about it because it's thick enough. Y'all have enough to read. I rated that book 5 stars. Twisted Lies, I think, was my favorite book in that series, and then the second favorite was Twisted Love, and then Twisted Games, and then Twisted Hate. The next book that I read after that was Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This book is like a mystery thriller, and it follows Adam and Amelia. So they're like husband and wife, and they're having like marriage problems. So I think it's Amelia that suggests like, oh, we should go on this trip. So they go, and Adam has face blindness, so like he can see people, but like he can't really like recognize their face. So like he doesn't know if it's that person because like he can't recognize the face. Anywho, so they go to this like remote chapel thing. It's like converted into a hotel or something, and then like stuff just starts happening, and yeah, it was pretty like spooky ooky. I really liked it. Was it my favorite? No, but I'm glad I read it. I rated it 4 stars out of 5 just because the plot twists and the ending of this book were like a little underwhelming. Like you could kind of see it coming. I just love when a book plot twists so hard, like you didn't even see it coming, or like you didn't even think that it was a possibility. Okay, the next book that I read was Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This book is a STEM romance, and it follows Jack and Elsie, and they're both like theorists, but there's like 2 different types of theorists in this story. There's experimentalist theorists and then some other one, I forgot, but they're like the 2 types. Even though they're like the same thing, they're very different, and they don't like each other. So Elsie is trying to get a job at this school, and there's this guy, and he wrote like this nasty like article paper about the other types of theorists, and was basically like, it was basically like a bunch of nonsense, and then he published it. Anywho, I really liked it. This man was down bad for Elsie, and he showed it, which I love. So I won't say too much on this book because I don't know, like the synopsis doesn't really give that much, but I really liked it. I rated it 4 stars out of 5, and yeah. The next book I read this book around Valentine's Day, and I just saw it on my shelf, and I was like, okay, it's like right before Valentine's Day, this book should be good. So I picked it up, and I hadn't like really seen anybody talk about this book, and I think it was for a reason. And that book is Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. The synopsis sounded interesting, and then you start reading the book, and it's like, I felt like I was just reading the synopsis over and over again. Like nothing was happening. In the book, they kept referencing like different serial killers and like killings that had happened. And I guess like if you're into that, or if you follow that kind of stuff, then like you would know, and I guess it would be kind of interesting. But like even some of them I knew about, and I was like, okay, but like what does this have to do with anything? Like what does it have to do? And like we just kept referencing it because she's a PhD student writing her dissertation about this stuff. I don't know. And this book follows Phoebe and Sam is the next door neighbor. I didn't really feel like it was a romance. It felt more like fiction with like a little sprinkle of romance, not given what I wanted it to give. I don't know, I just did not enjoy this book. I rated it 2.5 stars because like it was a book, but would I recommend y'all read this? No. Save your time and pick up a different book. Like this book was not for me. I will try and read her other books, but personally I just did not love this one. No shade, no hate, I'm just saying I didn't like it. Good night. Next book I read, I don't have it with me because I got it from my library. And if y'all aren't already, y'all need to be going to the library. I don't care that there's a Barnes & Noble 10-15 minutes away from your house. You know what else is 10-15 minutes away from your house? Maybe even closer. The library. Y'all better go. Y'all need to go. Y'all don't understand. I wish I used the library when I read this book, because then I wouldn't have spent like $17 on this book that I did not like. So I could have saved $17 if I would have just borrowed this book from the library. So take this as your lesson to go to the library more. I don't care if you think it's not cool or what. It's cool. Go to the library. I literally love the library. Anywho, the next book I read, I got it from the library, and it's Just Last Night by Vari McFarlane. I had heard like Haley Pham, and I don't remember, like I know she was reading like all of this author's books, and I was like, okay, let me see what they have at my library, and if they have one that piques my interest, I will borrow it. So I found this one. I don't know what the back says because I don't have the book with me anymore. I thought it was a romance, but then I got the book and it said fiction, and I don't really like reading fiction books because that's just not what I'm into. I'm into more romance type books. Whatever. I already had the book with me, so I was like, okay, whatever, let me just read it. And it's about this girl. I'm pretty sure her name is Nora. And then this guy, Ed. It like follows this 4 or 5 person friend group, and then something happens in the friend group, and yeah. And it takes place, I think, in the United Kingdom or Ireland. So it takes place somewhere like over there. I'm an American, I don't know geography like that, so somewhere up there in the UK and Ireland in Europe. Yeah. Anywho, I liked the book, but it wasn't what I thought I was picking up, because the synopsis on the back of the book gave me the vibes that it was going to be a romance, and it wasn't. It was fiction with like a sprinkle of romance. The book was still good, like I learned a few things from it, but it wasn't what I thought I was picking up. So I rated it 3.5 stars, 3.5. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm back. I just choked on water, so if I sound different, that's why. Anywho, the next book I read, I also got it from the library, but I borrowed it on Libby and I read it on my Kindle. I literally love this thing so much. I don't have Kindle Unlimited anymore, so all the books that I read on my Kindle, I got them from Libby. So this next book that I read was The Locked Door by Freida McFadden. I was watching, I think, Carla Espinosa's video, and she had just read this book in that video, and she was talking about it. She's like, it was so good, like the plot twists were really good, and I trust her opinion because I like similar books that she likes. And it's about this girl, I forget her name right now, but she lives in this house with her mom and dad, and her dad is always like down in the basement, but he like always locks the door when he's down there, and she's not allowed to go in there ever, like when he's in there, when he's not, like she's just not allowed to go in there. So she always like wondered, what is it that's behind that door that she can't see? Anywho, that's what the story's about, and I enjoyed it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars because the ending, I kind of predicted it. I was like, oh, it's probably this person. Like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't read it yet, but I was right. I thought that, and then I was like, oh, actually, maybe it's this person. But then I was like, no, it was who I originally thought. Next book I read, this one was, I think it was really popular in like 2020 or something, or maybe even before that. But I read Priest by Sierra Simone, and it's about this girl and this priest. She like moves to a new town and she doesn't know anyone, so she goes to the church and like goes to confess something that she did. And then yeah, I didn't really like it. Like, it just kind of felt repetitive to me, and the book was like really long, and after when it finished I was literally like, what the hell did I just read? Ain't no way y'all were talking about it like this. Ain't no way. So because of that, I rated it 2.5 stars because like it was a book, but I don't know if that book was for me. Anywho, next book. The next book that I read was The House of My Mother by Shari Franke, and this is the memoir of the eldest daughter from the 8 Passengers. If y'all watch YouTube, which I'm assuming y'all do because you're here, you probably know about like 8 Passengers and like everything that happened with them. And I used to watch that channel a lot, like when I was younger, and like just seeing everything that happened when the cameras were off and just all of that. I wanted to read this book, like to see what the eldest daughter had to say, because it's always the eldest daughters that know the most and like that see everything. Like, they're gonna speak the truth. So I read this book and I borrowed it from the library as well. Literally, I placed a hold right when that book came out, and I was like the first person to get the book from the library because it was like brand new, like nobody had opened it. Oh, it was so good. I rated the book 5 stars because the chapters were really, they weren't that long, and every chapter like had a purpose. And after I read every single chapter, like I was just in awe. Like, how could somebody do this to their kids? And like just how? I was like speechless, and like I still do, like I feel so bad for all of those kids, like especially the youngest ones. Oh my god, like it's so sad. So I rated that book 5 stars because I learned a lot, and it just shows you like that you don't know everything about a person's life, even like if they're posting everything on social media or like on YouTube. Like when it seems like they're sharing everything, they're not. They're just sharing the good stuff, and that's like what I took away from it, and other stuff, but y'all can read the book and see for yourself. So I recommend that y'all read this book because it was very eye-opening, and just like you wouldn't assume a person who portrays himself how Ruby did to do those things to those kids or like treat them like that. Okay, the next book that I read was Spiral by Khabra, and this is the 2nd book, and I don't know the name of the series name, but if I find out I'll put it on the screen. It's the book that follows Collide. I read that book last year. It's about this ballerina. Her name is Sage and this hockey player named Elias. Sage is an older sister. Her parents are not in the picture, and she has to take care of her little brother. Like, she's responsible for her little brother, but she lives on her own, and like their guardian is her uncle, who is like the owner, I think, or the manager of Elias's hockey team. This book was so good. Like, if you are an older sister, which I am, you need to read this book. And every older sister needs an Elias Westbrook of their own. This man, oh my god, the acts of services he would do, oh my, I was kicking my feet, screaming, crying, like, oh my god. I was literally like giggling the whole time. I was like, oh, you're not real. You're not real. He is just perfect. So I rated the book 4.5 stars because yeah, it was just so good. Like, it was almost a 5-star, but not quite. But it was still so good. Next book that I read was Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I got this book from the library on Libby and I read it on my Kindle. I was very hesitant to read this book because last year I read Beach Read by Emily Henry and I did not like it. I think I rated it 2 stars or 2.5 stars. Like, I just didn't like it. Controversial, but I didn't like it. Basically, this book is about, I'm forgetting her name right now, but it's about, I don't remember her name or the guy's name now. It's about these two couples, the girl and the guy, and then the other girl and the guy. The guy leaves the girl for the girl in this relationship, so they're together, and then these two are split, so they're like alone. But anywho, so since they are now together and the other two are like separated and he kicks her out of the house, she's like, well, I need a place to live. And so she asks the guy that also got left, like, hey, can I stay in your apartment? And he says, yeah, that's fine. And then they end up together. Oh, like, the plot was just so good, and like something was always happening, and I was like, oh my god, like when something would happen, like I just wanted to see how it was gonna end. So I liked it. The chemistry for me between these two, like, I could kind of see it, but like not as much as like these other books that I've read, but it was still good, so I rated it 3.5 stars. And lastly, this last book that I read was The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. I have the physical copy, but I also borrowed it from the library on Libby. This book is about this psychologist. Her name is Anna, and she has agoraphobia, which means like she can't step outside, or like she has a fear of going outside. So she's confined to her home and she like never leaves. So across the street there's like this new family that moves in, so she's like watching them from the window, and like she knows about everybody in the neighborhood because like she's seen them through the window, and like she just researches them and like finds out who they are and like what they do and stuff. And then like stuff starts happening and it gets interesting. I rated this book 3.5 stars just because like some parts were kind of confusing. I was like, wait, what? And also like there was like some details in this book that I felt were like we could have done without them. Yeah, so those are all the books that I read so far this year in 2025. If you guys have any book recommendations for me based on either what I've rated these books that I showed you or based on the books that I read, let me know down below. And if you want a book recommendation from me, let me know in the comments down below and I will respond. If you had to read 3 books out of the 15 so far that I've read, I would recommend you read Behind Closed Doors, The House of My Mother, and Spiral by Ball Copper. And an honorable mention, the Twisted series. Like, that series is just so good. Y'all need to read it if you haven't already. Anywho, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and comment down below what book you're currently reading or what books you plan to read in the next few months. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.